Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the business news here on Midday Live. My name is Alfred Consinao. The Data Protection Commission says it's noticed with grave concern the conduct of apathy and failure by many who process personal information to register with the Commission as data controllers in accordance with Section 27(1) of the Data Protection Act 2012, Act 843, that states that, and I quote, a data controller who intends to process personal data shall register with the Commission. Commission has warned it will begin prosecuting people who flout the law if they fail to register before May 31, 2016. We're joined in the studio by Mrs. Teki Akwete Falconer, who is Executive Director of the Data Protection Commission. It's good to have you. Now, just a bit of information or education for those who are watching out there. What exactly, or who are the institutions and persons that constitute data controllers?
Well, data controllers are essentially institutions that are collecting and holding and using personal information. And so this will include institutions like banks, organizations like yourself, media organizations, financial institutions, governmental agencies and bodies, so the judiciary, parliament, the executive, ministries, department, agencies, police service, lawyers, law firms, just to mention a few. Essentially, anybody who is collecting or holding personal information.
I see. Now, and all these institutions failed to comply with the period of registration, is what you're saying?
Not all. As at now, we have registered about 450 data controllers.
450?
But this is a drop in the ocean compared to the thousands that are out there. I will say from hindsight, most of the ones that have failed are the public institutions. We have very few of them that have registered. The financial sector have been predominantly compliant. It's just that there are a few banks and a number of insurance companies and investment banking or advisory companies that continue to flout these laws. Just to mention, and the media organizations as well, we have only one media organization that to date has registered. The political parties as well.
They're also supposed to register.
Yes, they collect, they use personal information, so they must respect.
Interesting. Now, but what do you think could have contributed to the failure on the part of the institutions to register during that period?
I think it's a number of things. We generally, as a society, have an apathy towards the things of the law, and a lot of organizations, believe that it's work as usual. It's a law, or is one of the laws that we don't really have to respect or obey. And so that, I think, is predominantly causing, the general approach to respecting these laws. Otherwise, some organizations have come to us and they have said that, look, we don't really understand how this law operates, and we've taken the time to actually explain to those organizations and continue to create the awareness. However, it's been very slow, and we think coming out at this point is very important, because from the third quarter we will start enforcement activities.
I'm going to find out what kind of sanctions you'd mete out to the institutions that failed to do this, but did you give them ample time and communicate to them the period when you were doing this?
Okay. Yes, I mean, when the law was passed, the law itself gave existing data controllers, so organizations, businesses, and individuals that were already collecting personal information at the time the law came into operation, it gave them the 3-month window. So this 3-month window, we commenced the registration in May 2015, and the 3-month window ended in July. And after July, we extended again for another 3 months, which was 31st of October. So sitting here today, we can say that, we're almost a year into,
I see.
giving that grace period for organizations to comply.
And so these organizations that have been giving that grace period of up to May 31, if they fail to register, what are some of the penalties that you
Well, for once, you fill an imprisonment term of about 2 years.
imprisonment term of 2 years?
Yes, and then a fine or both, which is what the law requires. And aside from that, the commission will also issue an enforcement notice to stop you from processing personal information until you have actually complied with the requirement. This essentially means that your whole organizational structure will grind to a halt, because you cannot operate without personal information. You know, people come into our offices every day, we work with people. So
Absolutely.
to stop that until you are compliant means you may essentially have to stop operating.
Hopefully that will not get to that point. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon, Mrs. Teki Akwete Falcon. It's good to have you. Grateful that she is the Executive Director of the Data Protection Commission there, giving us some more detail. But that's it for business.